Afghanistan is a land of towering mountains and vast deserts. For thousands of years, it has been a crucial bridge between East and West. Great empires rose and fell here, and mighty armies marched across its plains. This unique position made Afghanistan a center for trade and culture. The famous Silk Road, a network of ancient trade routes, passed right through its heart. Merchants from China, India, Persia, and even the Roman Empire met in its bustling cities. They brought with them silk, spices, jewels, and new ideas. This constant flow of people and goods created a rich and diverse history, one that is beautifully preserved in a very special way, through its coins. Coins are more than just money. They are tiny pieces of history that you can hold in your hand. Each coin tells a story about the ruler who made it, the people who used it, and the world they lived in. In Afghanistan, coinage offers a fascinating window into its past. The designs, the metals, the languages, and the symbols on these coins reveal the incredible journey of a nation at the crossroads of civilizations. Studying Afghan coins is like taking a walk through time. We can see the influence of Greek art, the power of Indian religions, the elegance of Islamic calligraphy, and the ambition of local kings, all stamped onto small discs of metal. Imagine a marketplace in ancient Balkh, once known as the mother of cities. A trader from Rome might pay for goods with a silver denarius. A local merchant might give change in the form of a copper coin from the Kushan Empire. Another might use a punch-marked silver piece whose origins trace back to India. This mix of currencies was common in Afghanistan for centuries. It shows just how connected the region was to the rest of the world. This essay will explore the long and captivating journey of Afghanistan's rare coins, from the very first pieces of silver to the modern currency used today. We will uncover the stories they tell about empires, art, and identity. The history of Afghan coinage is a complex tapestry, woven with threads from many different cultures. It is not the story of a single, unbroken line of currency. Instead, it is a dynamic story of change, adaptation, and innovation. As new rulers conquered the land, they brought their own monetary systems. Sometimes they melted down old coins to make new ones. Other times, their coins circulated alongside local currencies. This created a rich archaeological record. By examining these coins, we can trace the rise and fall of empires, the spread of religions like Buddhism and Islam, and the evolution of art and technology across Central Asia. It is a story of global history told on a miniature scale. Long before round coins were common, people in ancient Afghanistan used other forms of money. Some of the earliest examples were simple silver bars. These bars, often shaped like a boat or a rod, were bent in the middle. They are known today as bent bar saramanas. These pieces of silver were made around the 6th century BC, during the time of the Achaemenid Persian Empire. Their value was based on their weight and the purity of the silver. A merchant would carry these bars and cut off a piece to pay for something. They were not coins in the modern sense because they did not have a ruler's portrait, but they were a crucial first step toward a standardized currency for the region. Around the same time, another type of early money appeared, likely coming from India. These were called punch-marked coins. They were small, irregular-shaped pieces of silver, usually rectangular or square. Instead of a single design stamped from two dies, these coins were struck multiple times with different small symbols. Each symbol was made with a unique punch. These symbols could represent a local authority, a merchant's guild, or a specific region. A single coin might have 5 or more different marks on it. This system ensured the coin's weight and silver content were correct, making it a trusted form of payment across a wide area of trade. The Chaman Hazuri hoard, a famous collection of ancient coins discovered in Kabul in 1933, provided incredible insight into this early period. The hoard contained hundreds of coins, including Greek issues from the 5th and 4th centuries BC, as well as many local Achaemenid-era punch-marked coins. This discovery proved that different monetary systems were being used at the same time in Afghanistan. It showed that the region was already a melting pot of economic and cultural influences long before the arrival of Alexander the Great. The variety of coins found together highlights the sophisticated and interconnected nature of the ancient Afghan economy. These early forms of currency served a vital purpose. They made trade easier and more efficient. Before these standardized pieces of metal, people relied on bartering, which was often clumsy. Imagine trying to trade a camel for a basket of apples. It would be difficult to agree on a fair exchange. The bent bars and punch-marked coins provided a common measure of value. They allowed the economy to grow and helped ancient cities like Balkh and Kandahar become thriving centers of commerce. These first metallic currencies laid the foundation for the rich and diverse history of coinage that would unfold in Afghanistan over the next 2 millennia. The arrival of Alexander the Great in the 4th century BC completely changed the history of Afghanistan and its coinage. When Alexander conquered the Persian Empire, he brought with him the Greek style of making money. Greek coins were different from what was used in Afghanistan before. They were round, perfectly struck, and featured beautiful, realistic portraits of rulers on one side and images of gods and goddesses on the other. Alexander established mints in the region, and his silver drachms and tetradrachms, bearing his own portrait or that of Heracles, became the new standard. This introduced a level of artistry and political messaging to coinage that had never been seen before in Central Asia. After Alexander's death, his vast empire was divided among his generals. The eastern part, which included modern-day Afghanistan, became the Greco-Bactrian kingdom. For nearly 200 years, a line of Greek kings ruled this land. They produced some of the most stunning coins of the ancient world. These coins were made of gold, silver, and copper. They featured incredibly lifelike portraits of the kings, showing them with distinct personalities. On the reverse, they depicted Greek deities like Zeus, Apollo, and Athena. This was a clear statement of their Greek heritage, a way of projecting power and cultural identity in a foreign land. One of the most remarkable aspects of Greco-Bactrian coinage is its fusion of cultures. While the artistic style and language, which was Greek, were Hellenistic, the coins sometimes included local elements. For example, some coins were struck on a square planche, a shape that was more familiar to the Indian monetary tradition than the Greek one. Later, Greco-Bactrian kings also began to include inscriptions in local languages, like Kharosthi, alongside the Greek. This bilingual text made the coins understandable to a wider population. This blending of East and West is a defining feature of Afghan history, and it is perfectly captured on these small metal discs. Among the Greco-Bactrian kings, some coins are exceptionally rare and historically significant. King Eucratides I, for instance, issued the largest gold coin of antiquity ever discovered. This massive coin, weighing nearly 170 grams, was likely a commemorative piece, not intended for daily circulation. It was a spectacular display of his wealth and power. The coins of the Greco-Bactrian kingdom are highly prized by collectors, not just for their beauty, but for the history they preserve. For many of these kings, their coins are the only surviving evidence that they ever existed, giving us a precious glimpse into this lost Hellenistic world in the heart of Asia. Following the decline of the Greek kings, new powers emerged in Afghanistan. The most significant of these was the Kushan Empire, which flourished from the 1st to the 4th century AD. The Kushans were a people of nomadic origin who established a vast empire stretching from Central Asia deep into northern India. They controlled the lucrative Silk Road trade, and their empire became incredibly wealthy. This wealth was reflected in their prolific and innovative coinage. The Kushans were the first dynasty in the region to mint large quantities of gold coins on a regular basis, a practice that had a major impact on the economy of the ancient world. The great Kushan emperor Kanishka I, who ruled in the 2nd century AD, reformed the coinage system. He introduced gold coins called dinars, which were based on the weight standard of the Roman aureus. This made international trade much simpler, as Kushan and Roman gold coins were easily interchangeable. The designs on Kushan coins are a testament to the empire's extraordinary cultural and religious diversity. Kanishka's coins, for example, feature a pantheon of deities drawn from Greek, Iranian, and Indian traditions. One coin might show the Greek sun god Helios, another the Iranian goddess Nana, and yet another a figure of the Buddha. In fact, the Kushans were among the first rulers anywhere to depict the Buddha in human form on their coins. Before this, Buddhist art typically used symbols like a footprint or an empty throne to represent the Buddha. The appearance of a standing or seated Buddha on the coins of Kanishka was a landmark moment in the history of religious art. These coins, with the inscription Bado in Bactrian script, are some of the most sought after of all ancient coins. They show the important role the Kushan Empire played in the spread and development of Buddhism, carrying its imagery along the trade routes to China and beyond. The Kushans also pioneered the use of the Bactrian language, an Iranian language script replaced the Greek and Kharosthi inscriptions of the previous era. The portraits of the Kushan kings are also very distinctive. They are typically shown as powerful, bearded figures, often standing and making a sacrifice at a fire altar. They wear the typical Kushan attire of a long coat, trousers, and soft boots. These images project an image of a mighty, divinely sanctioned ruler. The Kushan period was truly a golden age for Afghan coinage, creating a rich legacy that influenced coin design for centuries to come. The arrival of Arab armies in the 7th century AD brought another profound transformation to Afghanistan and its coinage. With the spread of Islam, the style of money changed dramatically. The figurative art of the past, the portraits of kings and images of gods, was replaced by religious inscriptions. This was because Islam generally discourages the depiction of living beings in art. Instead, coins became a medium for expressing faith. They were covered in elegant Arabic calligraphy, usually featuring verses from the Quran, the name of the ruler, and the place and date the coin was minted. This new style, known as aniconic, became the standard for centuries. Various Islamic dynasties ruled over parts of Afghanistan, and each left its mark on the region's currency. The Samanids, in the 10th century, produced beautifully crafted silver dirhams and gold dinars, known for their clear and precise Kufic script. These coins were of such high quality and purity that they were trusted and traded far and wide, with hoards being found as far away as Scandinavia, carried there by Viking traders. The Ghaznavids, who followed, continued this tradition. The coins of the great Sultan Mahmud of Ghazni, a powerful conqueror, are famous for their bold inscriptions that proclaim his titles and military victories, serving as a form of powerful propaganda. The materials used for coinage also reflected the economic fortunes of these empires. Gold dinars were typically used for large transactions and international trade, while silver dirhams were the workhorse of the regional economy. For everyday purchases, small copper coins called falls were used. The designs on these copper coins were often more varied than those on gold and silver. Sometimes, they would include simple geometric patterns or even stylized animals, a small departure from the strict aniconic rules. The mint name, which was almost always included, is invaluable for historians, allowing them to map the extent of a dynasty's territory and influence. This shift in coinage represents a fundamental change in the worldview of the ruling elite. While Greco-Bactrian and Kushan coins celebrated the individual ruler and a pantheon of gods, Islamic coins focused on the oneness of God and the ruler's submission to divine authority. The coin was no longer a canvas for a king's portrait, but a surface for sacred text. The artistry was now in the calligraphy itself, with skilled engravers creating intricate and beautiful designs out of the written word. This calligraphic tradition would dominate the coinage of Afghanistan and the wider Islamic world for the next 1,000 years, a powerful symbol of a new cultural and spiritual era. The 13th century brought devastation to Afghanistan with the invasion of the Mongols led by Genghis Khan. Cities were destroyed, and entire civilizations were upended. This chaos is reflected in the coinage of the period. Initially, the Mongols issued coins that were often crude imitations of earlier Islamic types. However, as their empire, the Ilkhanate, became more established, their coinage grew more sophisticated. A significant reform under the Ilkhanid ruler Ghazan Khan in the late 13th century standardized the currency and introduced new designs. These coins often featured inscriptions in multiple languages, including Arabic, Persian, and sometimes Mongolian script, reflecting the diverse nature of their vast empire. One of the most interesting features of Mongol-era coinage is the brief return of figurative art. Some Ilkhanid rulers, influenced by Chinese and Christian traditions within their empire, issued coins that broke with strict Islamic aniconic norms. For example, some rare coins depict a ruler seated on a throne in the Mongol fashion, or feature symbols like a sun with a human face. These were exceptions, but they show the complex cultural interactions taking place within the Mongol world. For the most part, however, the calligraphic style remained dominant, but the scripts themselves evolved, with more fluid and ornate styles of Arabic writing becoming popular. Following the collapse of the Mongol Ilkhanate, another great conqueror of Central Asian origin, Timur, also known as Tamerlane, rose to power in the late 14th century. He and his successors, the Timurids, presided over a period of extraordinary artistic and cultural flourishing, often called the Timurid Renaissance. Their capital cities, like Herat in western Afghanistan, became centers of art, architecture, and science. This splendor is reflected in their coinage. Timurid silver coins, known as tankas, were larger and heavier than earlier dirhams, and were renowned for their exceptional calligraphy. The inscriptions were often arranged in intricate patterns, sometimes within ornate cartouches or geometric frames. The artistry of Timurid coins represents a high point in Islamic numismatic art. The engravers were masters of their craft, turning simple religious and royal inscriptions into complex and beautiful designs. The coins of the Timurid ruler Shah Rukh, for example, are famous for their elegance and precision. They project an image of a stable, pious, and prosperous state. These coins circulated widely throughout Central Asia and beyond, a testament to the economic power and cultural prestige of the Timurid Empire. They stand in stark contrast to the turbulent period that preceded them, marking a return to order and a celebration of artistic beauty in the heart of Afghanistan. In 1747, a new chapter in Afghan history began. Following the assassination of the Persian ruler Nader Shah, a council of Afghan tribal leaders gathered near Kandahar. They elected one of their own, Ahmad Shah Durrani, as their king. This event is widely considered the founding of the modern state of Afghanistan. Ahmad Shah established the Durrani Empire, which at its peak stretched from eastern Persia to northern India. To legitimize his rule and unify his new kingdom, he immediately began to mint his own coins. These coins were a powerful symbol of Afghan sovereignty and a departure from the currencies of foreign rulers. Ahmad Shah's coins were struck in gold, silver, and copper at mints located in major cities like Kabul, Kandahar, Herat, and even cities he conquered in India, like Lahore and Peshawar. The standard silver coin was the rupee, a denomination borrowed from the Mughal Empire in India, which made trade across the region seamless. The designs, however, were distinctly Afghan. The coins featured Persian poetry praising Ahmad Shah as the chosen ruler. A famous couplet found on many of his coins translates to, "The command of God, the inscrutable, came to Ahmad, the king. Strike coins in silver and gold from the fishes to the moon." The design of Durrani coins established a new visual identity for the nation. While they continued the Islamic tradition of using calligraphic inscriptions rather than portraits, they developed a unique style. A common motif on the reverse of the coins was a stylized mint mark and date set within a leafy pattern, often resembling a spray of wheat or a floral design. This became a characteristic feature of Afghan coinage for over a century. The name of the mint city was prominently displayed, a practice that helped assert control over the vast empire. These coins were not just economic tools, they were declarations of independence and national pride. The successors of Ahmad Shah continued to mint coins in this style, though the quality and size of the empire gradually declined. The coins of Timur Shah, Zaman Shah, and Shah Shuja Durrani tell the story of a kingdom struggling with internal conflict and external pressures from the expanding British and Russian empires. Sometimes, the quality of the silver would decrease, or the minting would become less careful, reflecting the political instability of the times. Nevertheless, the Durrani coinage system laid the groundwork for a national currency, creating a numismatic legacy that directly connected the founding of the nation to the money people used every day. The 20th century was a period of rapid modernization and political upheaval in Afghanistan, and the country's coinage reflects these dramatic changes. In the early part of the century, under the rule of Amir Abdur Rahman Khan and his son Habibullah Khan, the country was still using the rupee. However, Abdur Rahman was a powerful ruler who centralized the state and sought to modernize it. He introduced new minting machinery, which led to more uniform, machine-struck coins, replacing the older, hand-hammered methods. For the first time, some coins began to feature more modern and symbolic imagery, such as a mosque surrounded by flags and cannons, instead of just calligraphy. A major monetary reform took place in 1925 under King Amanullah Khan, a progressive ruler famous for his social and political reforms. He sought to fully modernize Afghanistan and align it with other nations. As part of this effort, he introduced a new currency called the Afghani. One Afghani was divided into 100 pal. This decimal system replaced the old complex system of rupees, shahi, and sanars. The new coins proudly bore the name Afghanistan and featured a new national emblem, the tugra, a calligraphic monogram of the king's name, and later, the iconic image of a mosque between two flags within a wreath of wheat. The designs of the coins changed with the political tides. When Amanullah Khan was forced to abdicate, the new ruler, Habibullah Kalakani, briefly issued his own rustic coins. When the monarchy was restored under Nadir Shah and his son Zahir Shah, the coins once again featured the national emblem and sophisticated designs. During Zahir Shah's long reign, the coinage underwent several changes, with different metals being used, including nickel-plated steel and bronze, reflecting the economic conditions of the time. These coins were the everyday currency for generations of Afghans, used to buy bread, tea, and other daily necessities. The turbulent decades that followed, including the Soviet invasion, civil war, and the rise and fall of various regimes, also left their mark on the currency. Different warring factions sometimes issued their own money. The establishment of the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan in the early 21st century led to the introduction of a new series of Afghani coins and banknotes, once again aiming to unify the country under a single, stable currency. This modern coinage, featuring the national emblem and historical landmarks, connects the present-day nation to its long and storied numismatic past, a journey that began with simple bars of silver thousands of years ago. The coins of Afghanistan are more than just a national treasure. They are a vital part of our shared world heritage. Their long and complex history offers a unique lens through which to view the grand sweep of human civilization. For collectors and historians, Afghan coins are exceptionally valuable because they fill in gaps in our historical knowledge. For some ancient rulers, like many of the Greco-Bactrian kings, these small metal discs are the only proof we have of their existence. Without their coins, their names and their reigns would be completely lost to time, leaving a significant part of world history in darkness. The global appeal of Afghan coins also lies in their incredible artistic diversity. Where else can you find a single country's history illustrated by classical Greek art, nomadic Central Asian imagery, Buddhist iconography, and masterful Islamic calligraphy? A collection of Afghan coins is a museum in miniature, showcasing the evolution of art and religious expression over 2,500 years. The beautiful portraits of the Greek kings, the pioneering images of the Buddha on Kushan dinars, and the elegant inscriptions on Timurid tankas are all masterpieces of numismatic art, admired and studied by experts and enthusiasts around the globe. Furthermore, these coins are tangible evidence of the interconnectedness of the ancient world. When a hoard of Samanid dirhams from 10th century Balkh is unearthed in Sweden, it provides concrete proof of the vast trade networks that linked Afghanistan to Viking Age Europe. The Kushan gold coins, made to the same weight standard as Roman aurei, speak volumes about the economic integration between East and West. Afghan coins help us understand that globalization is not a new phenomenon. They show how ideas, religions, technologies, and people have been moving and mixing across continents for millennia, with Afghanistan standing right at the center of it all. Today, collecting Afghan coins is a passion for people worldwide. Each coin is a puzzle piece, helping to reconstruct the magnificent and often turbulent history of this resilient nation. They are a testament to the empires that were built and the cultures that flourished at this global crossroads. By preserving, studying, and appreciating these coins, we honor the rich legacy of the Afghan people and gain a deeper understanding of the historical forces that have shaped our modern world. They remind us that history is not just about grand monuments and epic battles. It can also be found in the small, everyday objects that have passed through countless hands on their long journey through time.